Soul to soul, soul to soul, soul to soul.
You will be blessed when you realize you already are. Dear viewers, welcome to the show, Soul to Soul Talk Show. We are very glad that every time we come up with experiences of people who have lived spirituality and have changed themselves into totally spiritual being. Today, in this episode, we have with us Sister Mary from Greece. She is into this spiritual knowledge from past 20 years. A very warm welcome to the show, Sister. Sister, please tell us something about your childhood.
My childhood, I was born in an island in Greece, and I come from a Christian family, and we were in Christianity, and I used to go to the church and everything as a child, and I had a happy life actually, and living in an island in Greece with a nice weather all the time, spring, and it was really very nice.
And tell us something about your family background.
My parents were from a rich family actually, and I have very good life. My father was working in a ship company, so we had a lot of wealth, I can say, and everything was running smoothly. Very happy.
Sister, how much you used to believe in Christianity?
Well, when you are a child, actually, you follow what your parents do. But later on, when I grew up, I followed Christianity. I didn't have any problem with that because God is something very, very good. He helps you whenever you want Him, and I pray to Him whenever I needed something. But I didn't practice it as normal people do. But I really used to go to the church every Sunday, but I would just had a communication with God, nothing else.
So what kind of a conversation you used to have with God? Because it is not that easy to have a communication with God. And especially we cannot talk to the one whom we cannot see.
Yes, at that time I could speak to the one I could not see. I didn't know how he looked, of course, or he didn't have a form at that time, but or a name, but there was something in me that was really very deep, and I felt that there was a connection with a being, a benevolent being, that was always there when you needed him. This is what I believed in my childhood, actually.
But sister, in Christianity, it is believed that Jesus is God. So
I never believed that Jesus was God. I always believed that he was a son of God, not God.
sister, it is said that only through Christ you can meet God.
Well, I didn't believe all these things, and in the Orthodox Christianity, because we were not Catholics, it was not mentioned like that. It just mentioned that, okay, Christ is God, but it didn't say that you have to meet God through Christ. But I really didn't practice Christianity as other people did. I just believed that there was one being, very benevolent. That's what I believed. But I could find in churches, when I went to churches, I had this, well, in churches there is a lot of peace, so you could find yourself in another level if you are at peace.
Sister, what you used to like in churches?
Peaceful atmosphere, the vibration, especially when the churches were empty, not with people. I didn't like going to big churches with many people who were practicing those rituals and all these things. I didn't like that, but I could catch the vibration of peace when the churches were not with people. This is what I liked.
So you used to also practice the rituals?
No.
And how did your parents react towards it?
They didn't care because they were somehow like me. They were not very fanatic Christians.
And what kind of belief system you had since your childhood?
Actually, whatever my parents were saying, well, I normally didn't listen to them. They were just following what the religion said, but they didn't talk to me about that. They saw that I was going to the church and they didn't care to say anything else about it.
Sister, now tell us something about your academic life.
When I went to the university, then, well, I got married then, and at that time I forgot God. That the time that I forgot God, and probably, well, my God became, my husband became my God at that time, so I forgot him completely.
So, were you happy with your life, with your married life?
No, I was not happy. I was not happy. I was really disappointed.
Sister, what made you unhappy? Was it a love marriage or a arranged marriage?
Arranged marriage, that's unusual in Greece, but it was an arranged marriage.
What obstacles you had in life?
The obstacles were that this marriage couldn't work out well, so at some point I felt a lot of disappointment, and I really didn't know what to do, and I really was in very big sorrow at that time.
So, did you overcome it?
I overcame it, but not by myself. At that time, the Supreme Being helped me a lot. That changed my life.
When people go through challenging times, through difficult times, they call out to God, they pray to God. So, did you practice that?
Yes, I did that because I was really in great sorrow, and the only light in the darkness was the hope that I will get help from God. So it was, I remember one night, midnight actually, and I was feeling very bad. So I went near my house, and in the darkness I said to God, now you will help me. And I demand of you to do that.
So, did God reply to you?
Yeah, he did immediately. Well, in the darkness, I had some vision. I saw two eyes looking at me. And when I saw these two eyes, I just felt that he has heard me. So from that, those eyes were giving me peace and some kind of happiness in my misery, in my sorrow. So this continued for a long time, about 3 months. I was seeing those eyes in front of me, and this comforted me a lot.
The search of God started from that experience onwards?
Well, actually, yes. You can say that.
And did your search complete?
Actually, what happened is that one day somebody invited me to a lecture about meditation, and so I went there to this lecture, and the moment I entered the hall, I saw those two eyes in front of me, and those were the eyes of Brother Anthony, who left the body 2 months ago, and who came there to give this lecture. And from the same moment, the moment we met, I knew he was coming from God.
Okay. And what did he say in his lecture? Did it inspire you?
Actually, in his lecture, he was talking about meditation, very simple things about peace, being a soul, peaceful soul. But I could catch his vibration, and this helped me a lot. So I said, he's sent by God, so I should practice what he says.
So did you meet him after that?
Yeah, then I met him after this lecture, and we just look at each other, and we seemed that we knew each other from some past, I don't know when. And then all of a sudden he made me a question. do you believe in God? And I told him, yes, I believe in God. And then in a second, I had the experience of the soul, me, the soul, getting out of the body and meeting the Supreme Soul, and I absorbed so much love, so much love. That was the love I always wanted in my life.
So, sister, did tears come into your eyes when you first time felt God?
At that time, I didn't have eyes, I didn't have a form, I was just a soul. Tears didn't come to my eyes, but when I returned and then I had to drive home, I was crying all the way home, and then I realized I was holding the steer of the car.
Sister, then how things changed when God came into your life?
Everything changed, everything. And actually, everything changed in this second that I had this experience. And then Brother Anthony gave me some cassettes and posters, Sif Baba's poster, and I was practicing meditation immediately after the meeting. And after that, I went to Oxford, just like that, and I met Daddy Janki there. And when Daddy met me, without having taken any courses, she asked the brother in charge to send them the Murlis to me. So through the Murlis, God became my everything, my mother, father, husband, everything.
How did your husband reacted when you started following spirituality?
Actually, he didn't care because he followed his own life and I was following my life. Okay. So there was no problem at all.
So you both stayed together?
No, we don't stay together.
So you separated after coming into knowledge, or before only you were separated?
Actually, we have not separated officially. Officially, but because we have a job and we are together in this job. But he likes it that I'm in this path because he sees that there is a lot of benefit for me and also for him because working in the same environment, this helps him a lot.
So what made you to come to India when you already had an experience of God?
From my childhood, I have a lot of love for India. And when I was at the age of 15, I had an experience with an Indian dance somewhere. And I felt this attraction to this country. And actually, before coming to this spiritual path, I had already visited India before. I liked it. I had this desire to be here. And when I came for the first time, not as a BK, I felt that this was my home, my land.
Do you think that your religion didn't answer your questions that you were looking for and this knowledge gave you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And what were you searching for? What questions you had in your mind?
Actually, I wanted to meet God as He is. And this is what I always wanted. I didn't want to, I wanted to experience God. I didn't want to tell me, somebody to tell me who He is and what He is. I wanted Him to talk to me, to come in connection with me. So He revealed Himself somehow.
So your dream was fulfilled in one way?
Yeah, it was fulfilled, yeah.
And how did it felt when it was fulfilled?
A lot of happiness and bliss.
Anybody meet God, and what is the procedure?
The procedure is to surrender yourself to Him and realize you're a soul. And after that, you cannot communicate with Baba if you don't consider yourself to be a soul. Otherwise, if you consider yourself a human being, then communicating with God is not real communication.
Sissy, you just mentioned that one needs to surrender himself to God. What do you mean by surrendering oneself?
Yes, whatever you do is for God. Even if you have, let's say, money, that doesn't belong to you. You have a house, it doesn't belong to you. You use it just for God.
And sister, you've seen Baba. Who is Baba?
Who is Baba? Baba, you mean for me or generally?
What do you mean by Baba?
By Baba, I mean this being, the benevolent being who has love for everybody and who is the ocean of everything, ocean of love and peace. And this being is just there, giving all the time. So in order to get close to him, you have to make a first step, realize who you are, and then you go to him. And God is everything, everything for me at least.
Sister, there are a lot of people in this world who are very poor. Why does God does not help them?
That's karma. I feel it's the law of karma in this.
So what is karma?
Karma is what you do, it comes back to you. If you do good, you get good. If you do bad things, you have to pay for them.
Do you believe in karma philosophy?
Yes, I believe, because there's no other explanation of what is happening around us.
Sister, can we change our karma, our destiny?
Well, actually, we can change things by doing, accepting what's happening and then doing the best we can for everything. Of course, the destiny, if we are talking about the world drama, well, you cannot change it at some point, but you have to follow just the principles and realize that you have to live with virtues and good qualities in your life. If you do that, then everything, the karma, it's getting softer and softer, and you can change it.
Sister, when you first time met God, did you have any questions in your mind?
When I first met God, I had no question at all. I was just surrendered my mind, my intellect. I didn't have any question.
Okay, sister, isn't it a blind faith?
Uh, Probably, but what I felt, it wasn't blind faith. It was reality. It was something that I could feel it very deep in me. So, well, for some it might be blind faith, but not for me. It wasn't.
And sister, you just said that God comes, and you've met God. How does God feel when He sees the world like this?
Well, actually, God, he doesn't have, I believe he doesn't feel anything bad. He sees everything as a detached observer, but he also sees what's happening, of course, but he also tells us that you are responsible to change this world now. So can't you hear the cries of the brothers and your sisters? So you have to do something, change yourself, create the new world for those souls.
Sister, how are you responsible for changing the whole world? You can just take responsibility for your own self, but whole world, how can you change it?
If you follow the rules and the principles and what God tells us, of course, I'm responsible for myself. But if I'm really responsible for myself, I'm responsible for the whole world, for my brothers, for my sisters, for nature, for everything.
So what are you doing for all those people?
What I can do, through meditation, on a spiritual level, service through the mind, those people, to help those people, also on a physical level. I can see my center, just by giving the courses, or just by doing service to those people. This attracts others. And also the vibration that is created attracts
And
others.
sister, in center, what routine do you follow?
I follow just waking up early in the morning. Usually wake up at 3:30 and then stay for meditation until 4:45, and then we read the Murli afterwards and follow the principles of Raja Yoga, cooking food and offering food to Baba, and then we have classes in the afternoon and go early to bed.
So do you really feel that you've achieved what you wanted to achieve in life?
Yes, I have. I think I have achieved well, I have a long way to go, but I have achieved a lot.
Sister, are you contented with whatever God has offered you?
Yes, I am content. He offers a lot to me.
Was there anything which was very tough to transform in yourself, and what was it?
Yes, I still work on it. It's attachment, and especially to certain people. And I still work on it, but it has. I have improved a lot.
Are you comfortable getting attached to God?
Well, I like to be attached to God, and this is the aim. But sometimes, if we lose a little bit our remembrance, if our remembrance goes down, we also go down. So we forget that we are souls. We forget certain things, so we don't feel well again. But then the thing is that God helps us a lot. Whenever He sees that we're going a little bit down, He pulls us up.
Did it turn out to be the right path, or is it a blind faith?
No, it's the right path. I'm absolutely sure about it.
So what if you wouldn't have been a Brahma Kumari? What your life would have been now?
Well, I'm not sure because actually before I became a Brahma Kumari, I was so desperate that I wouldn't be able to survive at that time. So I don't know what it would be, but being a Brahma Kumari for me saved my life actually.
And from now, 10 years after, where do you see yourself?
Well, I have every day I think that I progress just by following what Baba says. I'm progressing. For the last, the first 10 years in this path, I was struggling a lot, but now the other 10 years, everything seems so easy and goes very fast.
Sister, can you share one of your best experiences with God?
Best experiences. I have many experiences. I will just share one that we had. We had a group and we were meditating. We had a meditation of 4 hours, and then I could feel the light of God, the qualities of God spreading everything around us. You could feel it, and even nature, because we were in nature. Nature, it seemed that it changed, the vibration changed.
Sister, do you feel that this knowledge is for everyone? And what is your goal now?
Yes, I think it's for everyone. Well, probably they will not catch the meaning of it or the main points, but I think it's for everyone. And my goal is just to continue on serving people as an instrument of God.
Thank you so much, Sister, for sharing your experiences with us. Viewers, I'm sure it was an enriching episode. We'll meet you in the next episode. Till then, have a nice day.